Welcome to Golf Talk Radio with PGA professionals Mike Bravenek and Billy Gibbs. Golf Talk Radio is brought to you by TaylorMade Golf, the Paso Robles Golf Club, Slick Sticks, your key to better golf, McPhee's Grill of Templeton, dedicated to great food and great service, McGowie Health Group, expect something different, and Nikki Anderson, Realtor. And now, the hosts of Golf Talk Radio, Mike and Billy.
Back in, everybody. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy right here on the Golf Talk Radio Network. Again, joining me in the studio, three good friends, Mr. Dave Shamandel from Slick Sticks, Nikki Anderson, GTR producer, also tournament player, and the one and only Mr. Jim DeLobby, PGA professional. So we were talking about our picks that we had for prior to the Masters. Now we're going to jump into who do we think now is going to win this thing after two rounds. I mean, we're kind of a little bit cheating a little bit because we're into the third round somewhat, but the leaders haven't teed off yet.
Can I change my pick on who surprised to miss the cut?
No, we're past that point, Dave.
How about for next year? we can pick that for next year, right?
That's funny.
So anybody want to go first, or we can go around the table? I could start with Jim. Who do you think?
I like the number one in the world, Dustin Johnson, because of this reason alone.
Wow.
He should have got it 2 years ago. Last year. When did he get injured?
Last year.
Last year. He should have got it. That was his year to win it. Now, number two, he's got the best average in the world right now. So he hasn't, and he shot below it. He shot above his average. So that means he can come down to his average, fire 268s potentially, and win this event. If he shoots 68 today, he's going to win the event. That's my opinion, because he can shoot another 68 average. He can default to 68. And that's how Tiger wins tournaments in the past. He just defaults to his average score. So that's my pick.
And everybody else just kind of slides by him.
Because they're all higher than him average-wise.
Yeah.
They're going to do the same.
Yeah.
So Patrick Reed's already gone past his average. He's coming this way. I love him. I want him. He's so emotional.
Yeah, right.
I want him and McIlroy to battle. But
Oh, that would be awesome.
The return of
Spieth has the experience to win. He's the only one there at the top. Well, there's a couple, but he's got the potential to win. But that would be my number two pick because of that reason, because of experience. And he's hot with his putter again. But that's it. That's what I feel.
So we're going for Jim saying
call.
Justin, and then he's going Spieth also as a backup.
Oh, we're doing. What
Yeah, I think that's all right. So
Okay.
what's interesting about that is, Johnson and Spieth. Johnson's 6 back, and Spieth is 5 back. So, I mean, that's, I guess I was saying earlier in the show, that's I'm only hoping that happens. You know what I mean? Like that you get some of these guys that are down at 3 or 4 under, get up to Reed. I just want to see a shootout at the end. Like that's what I think everybody wants.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to. I don't want to see a guy run away with it.
Yeah.
It's not entertaining to me.
I agree. Yeah.
You know.
I love it every year that they have a playoff. I go, oh boy, we get more.
Of
Oh, I know.
course.
That's how I feel too.
Of course. I
There's
mean,
nothing like a playoff.
you know, I agree with you wholeheartedly, Dave. And again, it's nothing against Reed. I think Patrick Reed, if he wins, that's awesome. I think that's cool. I would love to see it not just be a 1-2 kind of show.
I don't think it's going to be.
I don't think it is either. I mean, just looking at the board. But what are your thoughts, Nikki? What do you think is?
I'm going to go with Patrick Reed for sure.
She's sticking with Reed.
I'm sticking with Reed because I've seen him buckle down and latch on to something, and I think that's what he's going to do. And then my backup is Rory. And I'd love to see those two go together.
Yes, I agree with you.
Well, and Rory's on he's been on a streak.
Yeah.
I mean,
And he's
really-
trying to stay away from emotion. Did you notice his
Yeah.
comments about that's cool? And he's
Yeah.
trying to go high side on his putts. This is a good strategy right now. So yeah, he's
smart.
good picks.
Two
Nikki.
really smart things to do, especially in a major. Control your emotions and stay on the high side of the hole.
Yeah, I should tell myself
High and
that.
low. High low, please.
That makes a lot of sense. David, how about you?
Oh, I'm sticking with Spieth. He's just horses for courses, and boy, oh boy, he loves that one. I was really surprised on the way he started yesterday, but he righted the ship and played real well the rest of the round. Second pick, boy, Dustin Johnson's a good one. He's got the strength, and the course is going to play long when it gets wet. He could. And I said a couple of weeks ago that. Oh God, who's leading?
Reed.
Reed. I went blank for a second. But I said a few weeks ago that it's amazing he never plays well in a major.
I remember when you said that.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I do remember that.
I always look at his names and go, God, he is good. But, majors, he's never done anything. And as soon as I say that, well, now he's 7 under or 8 under.
Well, if you think about too what happened with him in the Ryder Cup.
Oh, that was.
I mean,
him,
that
him and Rory.
yeah. I mean that is to me is like for a player that's a breakthrough moment.
Mhm.
So a breakthrough moment, like players need that to be able to associate that moment with something like the Masters.
And to
So
trust,
Yeah, that
So
could be.
that may be something where, because that happened to him, and now he's in a position, he's put himself in the position after the first 2 rounds.
Very well could be.
He already knows.
Right.
And what would be so cool is, like, I think when you guys just said it, but what would be so cool if McIlroy was and they dueled it out?
That would be
Last
so
day.
awesome.
So cool.
I'd love that.
Great for golf.
And
Have that be the pairing?
It'd be incredible.
I'd love that
That'd be
pairing.
that'd be a great last day pairing. I'm so we've got Spieth, and then you're saying Johnson, Dave?
Oh, yeah, I'll take Johnson.
Okay. All right. Well,
Or
I'm
Rory.
a little torn.
Fishman.
There's a couple guys on the board that I've always loved. I don't know, and I don't want to just go with my heart because I don't think that's the right way to pick.
And
but-
usually the person dislocates their ankle or something when
yeah.
that happens.
I want to change my pick.
and this guy, I'm not.
After Mike picked.
Yeah.
Mike wants to change his pick again.
Well, here's what I love, and I've seen him do it before. I just don't. I think that the deficit of strokes is just a little too big, and that's Oosthuizen. And what I love about Oosthuizen is he just knows he can work that ball around the course like nobody's business. And if it's getting wet, he still hits it far.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And he's got a great swing. And that's like a guy I'm just kind of sitting there going, I'd love to pick Finau because that's who I took as my dark horse. I just think what happened to him on Wednesday, like he's running on adrenaline. And I think as you start getting into these 3rd round, 4th round, I hope
start
I eat my
catching up with
words.
him.
I really do. I just think that's a lot to go through. I love Thomas still. I'm staying with Thomas, who I picked. I think because he's done so well this year that he's had that mindset already, probably more than any player this year of winning and being in the position to win. And he's not that far back. He's 6 strokes back. He's gonna get that taste again in his mouth, and he's gonna go, "Hey, I'm back in it again. I got a shot." Now, if Reed just starts ripping things off, I mean, then there's no chance. The other guy that I really, really like right now is McIlroy. I just think his momentum is golf is, to me, is so much momentum. It's so much like where's your head at right now?
Right.
How are you feeling about yourself? And
He's such a good driver of the golf.
I know. I mean, he's just.
Amazing.
I love what Jim said. With the emotion thing.
Yeah.
I mean, my gosh, you corral that. That's probably, like they say, golf is 90% mental and 10% mental,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And that's
True. It's true.
that's my reasoning behind this.
and gives him the grand slam.
Yeah. And I've got Thomas and McIlroy. The other guy I love, and I told you guys I picked him. I love Stenson. I absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
Tough.
I just love him. I just don't know.
Such a simple swing.
Yeah.
And that 3-wood.
That's
wow,
what I
that
love.
3-wood is
Amazing.
awesome.
I love his
And it's
3-wood
like
shots.
8 years old or something like that.
Gosh, I mean, I get goosebumps just thinking about it. I mean, he's amazing. But I'm going to go with Thomas, stick with the original pick, and then McIlroy's the other guy that I'm going to.
Did you know he had a different 3-wood in his bag at the start of the week?
Stinson?
Well, what did he have?
It was a Callaway.
It was a Callaway.
Uh-huh. And he was carrying he had 18 clubs in his bag and for practice rounds. And they're trying to build him a new 3-wood. So, the Callaway people don't really like it that he's using a 6, 7, 8-year-old club because
What does that say?
they want to sell their golf clubs. And
course.
so they keep trying to make him 3-wood, and he puts it in his bag for practice rounds. And come tournament time, he puts in Old Faithful.
Yeah, but think of how many recreational golfers that you meet that they might have a new set of clubs like irons, as an example, and they've still got that 3-wood that they love.
Oh.
They've still got that
Well, what's the hardest club
that-
to find?
to find. Yeah.
That you like?
Well, the fairway
3-wood.
woods.
Yeah. That's
I took mine out of my bag. The best fairway wood I ever had, for me, Okay, I'm not saying this, but it was a Tour Edge two wood. It was like a 2.5 wood.
Mine was a 2-wood too.
It was a 2.5 wood, and it came out around the time that, well, it was probably a year after Olimar started doing their whole tri-metal
Oh,
thing.
okay. Uh-huh.
And so Tour Edge, like a lot of companies, kind of following suit, but the head was a little bit taller than the tri-metal Olimar.
Yeah, they were real shallow.
But that club was so versatile. I mean, I could hit that off the fairway. I could hit it off a tee. I could use it as my driver. I could use it as my 3-wood. I mean, and I think that's what I love about the club so much is that it wasn't just a 3-wood. It wasn't just a 2-wood, like, oh, I can't hit this off the fairway. And I'm thinking, I don't know why I ever got rid of that thing.
Yeah.
I really don't.
You find a 3-wood you like, you hang on.
Yeah.
to it.
And I have never had a fairway wood since then that I've ever even liked. I just haven't had it.
Yeah. Mine
So I
was a
took it
Tommy
out.
Armour Lassie, a ladies' 2-wood.
Nice.
It had a little extra loft on it, and God, it was made in like 1958 or something like that. And I put
my
a stiff
God.
shaft in it. And
Yeah.
fell in love with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a Lloyd Mangrum 2-wood all through college.
Yeah.
Persimmon,
Oh yeah.
solid.
So did you use
That was golf craft.
how did you use the 2-wood? Did you use that off the tee more than a driver? Back
No,
then?
I used it off there was lots of fairway shots.
Lots of fairway.
Because I needed distance.
Yeah.
Playing places that Jack Nicklaus built, that's when he started building them.
Yeah.
So we needed to get the ball back, the long golf courses. So that 2-wood came in handy because of that right there. Pasatiempo, I needed it.
Oh man,
In
that's my
college.
stomping grounds, man.
Number 16, Pasatiempo.
Oh yeah.
I birdied it with a 2-wood up that hill. 16, the
Yeah.
tiers, knocked it. Got 4 caddies up there. He goes, Jim, you just knocked it a foot. Or, hey, buddy, you just knocked it a foot. I goes, my 2-wood, baby. She's right up that hill.
Well, and that hole, to describe it to people, it's a small little tee box kind of on the edge of a creek, and then the other tee box for the prior hole is kind of elevated above it to the side of it, and so the fairway goes up and it slopes to the right,
Yeah, slopes to the right.
severely right down, and the left is low, right is high. And the thing is, if you hit it up on the right side and you hit the top of the crown of the fairway, it's going to bounce out of bounds. It's going to go through the fairway because it curves so sharply, and you could kill it. You go, oh, that's a great shot.
But there's a bottom down, right?
Well, and when you get to the problem is if you go over the crown on 16 at Pasatiempo and you start going downhill, like you said, you have a severe downhill right to left lie to a 3-tier uphill green.
Perfect.
Nice.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's one of the most amazing golf holes I've ever seen.
That's Mackenzie.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we told you guys this story, but when Billy and I went up there, and I technically I grew up on that golf course. My best friend's dad moved his family to Pasatiempo when he was about 10, and so I would go over there 4 times a year for like a week, and I'd stay there, and we'd go play hole 12 through 17 for free because we were going on in the evening, and we made sure we never got over to 18
For free.
near the clubhouse, and we would play 16 all the time. But we went there, and I took Augie, and I took Billy and Augie. Augie was the GM at Avalon Black Lake, and we played with Ron Taft. They call him Bigfoot. He's about 260, size 15 triple E feet, and he was a giant Ben Hogan. So if you know how Ben Hogan dressed, that's how Ron dressed. And I remember we were playing hole 16. And, we all hit our tee shots up there. We all hit our shots up. I ended up at the bottom. I hit the bottom tier of the green, and it stayed, which was, I don't know how that's even possible because it's not even really a tier. Augie hit the middle of the green, and it sat, and as we're walking up, it started rolling down, and it rolled to the bottom, and then it rolled into the rough. And so the pin's in the upper tier left, which is like 5 feet from the edge of the green, which right next to the left side of the green is a giant bunker that if you get in it, you're going to hit towards the downhill 3 tiers. So if you go too long, you're coming back the other way. So he got up to the ball, and he pitched his shot up by the pin, and I go, oh, that's a great shot. And he gets up there. We start walking up. Here comes the ball.
Oh, my God.
Starts rolling back down. It rolls
Believe it.
further down into the rough. So he gets up there, hits his pitch shot up, hits next to the pin, sits there for like count of 3, starts trickling back down, rolls all the way down to the bottom. Meanwhile, Ron, this big guy, he's just standing there. He's not saying a word. He's just standing there staring. And I'm trying to go, oh my gosh, when's Augie going to blow? because I'm like, I would have freaked out by now. So then he gets up there and he hits his putter up there and he putts it up and it doesn't make it up to the top tier. So now it rolls back down again. And by this point, it's done. So
geez.
I don't remember now whether or not he got it in the hole eventually. I just remember he was at the bottom of the hill and we're all walking to the carts getting ready to go to the next hole. And Ron says, nothing rolls like a ball. and Billy
Sharp as a pound of
and
wet
Billy
lemon.
and I are just dying. And I'm trying not to laugh out of respect for
That's
Augie.
your boss.
And who was my boss at the time. And Augie throws the ball up in the air. He still has his putter in his hand. And what does he do?
He baseball it?
man.
Baseballed it
All
right
right.
back up the 16th fairway into the creek. And nobody said a word. We went to the next tee, and nobody laughed. Nobody had any other emotions. And so,
God's
Scared.
security.
yeah. So then when we got back a couple days later on Monday, we got back. I had a frame made up
Oh,
with a
that's
certificate that says "Nothing rolls like a ball." In quotes, Ron Taft. And so Augie put that in his office, and it sat there for the years that we worked together.
That's
But
funny.
that's
Good
so
that's
story.
a great
great
memories,
story.
man. But
Excellent.
with that, guys, we'll be right back. We'll be talking more of the 2018 Masters. You guys want to call us here, 903-1974, 805-903-1974. Call, give us your thoughts on the Masters, and we'll throw you some prizes. We've got rounds of golf, tailor-made hats. I've got some golf balls to give away, things like that. Again, 805-903-1974. You're listening to Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy, brought to you by the McPhee's Grill of Templeton. And we have $25 McPhee's Grill gift cards as well. So McPhee'sGrill.com, 805-434-3204. Hometown cooking through and through. McPhee'sGrill.com, 805-434-3204. Also, thank you, Dave Shamandel, great partner of the show. Your key to better golf, 805-598-9993. Mr. Dave Shamandel, he's in the studio with us here for the rest of the show as well. So we'll be right back. Stay with us. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy on the Golf Talk Radio Network.